we just talked to Walker. Well, what did you observe in terms of his process, coming back from the ankle injury? He's talking about you guys coming and bringing him food and stuff like that to kind of check on him and stuff. What was that like?
I would just say the process for him, I don't know, how he stayed mentally, strong through it, because, what happened to him, you can really go sideways. I know that dealing with injury myself, just, constantly trying to be out there when you can't, and wanting to be out there. But, he did everything he could to get back. And I think all of us as the O-line just wanted to make sure that we could be there the best way we could for him. And the effort that he put into getting back, it made it easy for us to, want to give that same energy to him, because he was already leading himself that way. And I'm just very ecstatic to see him back, because he worked really hard to get here. I know he wants to be on the field with us. And, I've known Walker for 4 years now, and he's one of my best friends. And just be able to play with him on the field again is it's an amazing blessing. I'm happy he's back on the field with us.
Talking to Blake and Tristan outside, they talked about just the continuity that this offensive line has moving from last year to now. Just what are the conversations you guys have? What are your personal expectations for what this starting five can achieve?
Yeah, so from a continuity standpoint, I just feel like, we were very intentional with hanging out with each other, from spring to now. Me and Tristan are roommates. We're always hanging out with Blake and them. We made that a focal point for this offseason, just because, it's very important that we're very close, and, we know how each other move and our little intricacies. And I think that will show this year more than ever. I got a year under playing next to Tristan now, so, I have a good idea of what he does on each play, and he has a good idea of what I do. And I feel like that experience together is really going to take us to the next step. And, Walker and Blake, they played next to each other in 2022 and some parts of last year. So I really feel like that's going to show we're much older, especially with Coach Luke coming in and, providing the experience that he has and giving us the knowledge that he has. I think it's really going to take us to the next level.
You take losses hard, that you care. Where does that come from? And is that true? You're like the ultimate competitor?
Yeah, so I would say for me, it started as when I was young, just living in a household with my older sister. She's a sore loser, and I kind of get it from there. We always were competing back in the day, and she hated to lose. And I kind of picked it up for her. I've never been a big fan of losing. I try to put my all into everything that I do, and that's our motto here is all in. You know what I'm saying? And when you put your all into something, and then you don't get the result that you want, it hits you hard. And I've always been a tough person when it comes to losing, but I've been better. I'm trying to get better with it, keeping my head high, because especially now that I'm a senior, I got to be able to lead our team when, we're in low moments. And that's what I really want to grow this year into, being a leader. And when, we are down, that I'm able to keep us up and, not getting too emotional because, we're losing or something like that.
Marcus, can you describe the flexibility that you guys have with you and Walker and Colin available at guard, and just all the different sort of?
Well, yeah, I think the flexibility is huge for us, especially as we're playing more games this year. And, Colin being able to fill whatever spot on the O-line, him being able to play left tackle, left guard, right tackle is huge for us. With me and Walker, we're guys that have been, injured before, and we played a lot of snaps and stuff like that. I think it would be huge that he can come in and fill those spots. And even for me, I could, kind of play left tackle when I need to. Walker could play right tackle when he needs to. Us just having that ability to do that is going to be huge for our line. I think it's going to push a lot of the other guys in the room to, step up their game, and I think that it's already shown, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's just a testament to the training that we put in the offseason, especially with, Colin and Walker really just, not just being a robot in one position, learning every position they can. Colin could play literally all positions. So, I really a testament to his offseason work.
You go into this offseason knowing this team lost 4 games last year. Talking about not making the list. What did you think to yourself as you tried to deal with, hey man, we've got to be better than this? What went through your mind about this is how I'm going to be better, this is, how I'm going to deal with these kind of failures in the future, and to make sure that they don't happen again?
I think the biggest thing when it comes to, going 9-4, or, even the other couple years losing 2 games in the year before losing 3, you got to change what you're doing. And I feel like, we came into this offseason saying we can't keep doing the same thing we were doing the past 3 years. And that goes with, as an O-line, being closer with each other every day, hanging out with each other, training together. That even goes with, doing more team bonding stuff as a whole team. More people not being, like leading by example, being more vocal leaders. Like, a lot of us had to step out of our comfort zone, and I've seen a lot of people do it. Like, we have a bunch of players on this team that's doing that, and I think everybody, saw after last year that we couldn't keep doing the same thing, that it's not just because we're Clemson stuff is going to happen. Like, we got to make it happen, and I think, everybody's been pretty intentional with their offseason and doing that. This is the hungriest team I've ever been a part of, and I think that's been the difference between this team and years past.
When you say it's the hungriest team, what stands out to you that, because obviously you've been on competitive teams, and what stands out that makes you say that phrase in particular?
I would say just we all want the same thing, and no one's doing something for themselves, and no one's doing something for themselves. Everybody, we're all competing, to get to the end. We're all competing to finish the best way we possibly can, and everybody's training with that in mind. It's not, everybody's just training for themselves, to show up for themselves. It's not like that. And that's why I say we're the hungriest team, because it's a very collective thought process that we're all going through as we're training through the off season.
Is that a result of last year's results and the adversity you guys went through, or is that maybe even Luke? Is that Coach Luke? Where does that come from?
I would say that's more a result of last year, because it's the whole team. It's not just the offensive line. It's everybody trying to change how they're moving and really buying into what we're trying to accomplish, and it being a one team goal, not a personal goal.
Does it help that you're close to Jake and that you guys can kind of bounce things off of each other? He's not an offensive lineman, that you guys...
I think the best thing about being close to Jake is that I can trust that he's going to keep it real with me. I think if you meet Jake, he's one of the most real people I've ever met, and he holds me accountable more than anybody else. And that helps me, because when you're older, a lot of young guys might not want to say something to you, but I can always count on Jake to say something to me, and he'll say something to anybody. And I think, as us trying to lead this offense and him being transparent all the time, no matter what, it's really going to help the young guys grow, and also, keep the older guys accountable to setting the standard and upholding the standard as we go through the practice, as we go through games in the season.
When you're talking about the ACC media days, he was talking about there being more like player-led meetings in terms of going over plays and talking about things. And Tate, I think, was really kind of at the head of those meetings and really taking charge. I mean, I don't know if it's just skill players and offensive linemen were there too, but how much has that been different in terms of the number of meetings and guys getting together and trying to work that out?
Well, that's what I would say. Like, that's the change that I feel like we went from last year to this year. And Cade, you were really taking initiative and scheduling those meetings to go over whatever it is, routes, playbook, coverages, or just team mentality. And I think, a lot of other people on our team, whether it's other position groups, O-line, receivers, DBs, linebackers, have really been trying to, take that and do it on their own. And I feel like that's going to take us a long way, because I think one thing Coach Sweeney's always big on is that we're a player-driven program. And I think we're really trying to, show that.
How often were those meetings?
About every week, once or twice a week.
And that was a lot more, I guess, than in the past. I guess, how many meetings per week did you have?
Mm-hmm. And we were having, I'm talking about, we were having meetings where it's Cade coming talking to the whole team, So I think that's been the difference with this team this year.
Coach Lee was saying Tristan Lee has kind of emerged as one of the bigger leaders on the team. I guess, how would you describe kind of his presence and why he's become that guy?
Well, just a guy that cares so much. I mean, from the moment he's got here, he's always been very serious about the work that he's put in. And now that he's in the role that he's in, I think he has the confidence to come out, because he's a vocal guy. He's very passionate. He's emotional, and he really shows that. And he's very authentic. He feels the way he feels, and is very genuine, and it comes from a good place. And he just wants to see everybody do great. I've never seen someone, be as genuine as he is, and talk and move with the passion that he does. And as his roommate and as his best friend, like I can say, like, it's a blessing to be that, because he instills that in me. Because I'm not a huge talker, and he kind of has tried to push me to be more vocal and lead like I should, because I have that voice, and he's giving me that confidence too. So that's a real testament to him. He's doing an amazing job in leading. I mean, he's the most hyped guy on our team for sure. I think anybody would agree with that. I mean, he starts off every meeting hyping up the whole team. That's just the type of guy he is, and I'm just very excited to play next to him. And I think everybody on this team appreciates him a lot.
I guess, how does he hype everybody up?
It's one of those things, you just got to see it, and you just feel the energy that he comes with. He's going to get up, he's going to start talking, he's going to start jumping around. I mean, he's just that type of guy, and I love that about him, because we have I can't say we've had that in the past, we haven't, and he's just different. And I think that's what we needed, something different, and he's bringing that to the team, and I think it's having a very positive effect on the whole team. Everybody respects him, and he earned that, and he has the right to do what he's doing, and I'm glad that he does it the way he does.
With the starting center battle, is it kind of difficult to playing along with a different center each time with them getting different reps with the line, or how does that work like for you guys?
I mean, I don't think it's that difficult. I mean, especially for me, last year, they were doing the switch out with the tackles. My freshman year, it wasn't Will Putnam, it was someone else, and then it was Will Putnam my sophomore year, So I have a good idea of a lot of them play. Ryan's been here since I've been here, so, I know how to play next to him. I know how he plays, and that's been really cool. And he's doing a very good job of, progressing and getting ready to play the season. Harris, I played next to him as well. I watched him play. Me and Harris watched film together. So, I have a good idea of how they move, and I just try to make sure that I can help them the best way as possible. So I feel like I'm in a position now where it doesn't matter who I'm playing next to. Just I know to get my job done, and I know that I can help the guy next to me if they don't. And for the most part, Ryan and Harris do a great job. They know what they do, and there really hasn't been any struggle, playing next to them, regardless when they're switching out constantly.
When you say help, what does the helping mean?
Whether it's IDing correctly, which I really don't have to do that often. They know what they're doing really well, but I would say just, confidence, making sure that they're out there doing the right thing, instilling that confidence in them, telling them that I got their back through it all, and not having to think so much and just going out there to do what they do.